Well, second video in one day. It's lunchtime. I'm actually going to go look at a house with Heather. She's not on the back. It's she's even there. And again, still stopped up on the sinuses. But anyway, I guess this is a part two. But I'll publish it a separate day or something. Work. Yeah, I mean it's. I'll start with the King Arthur stuff. I've been here now since January. It's mid-April, so I've been here for 4 months. It's going really well. I think the company itself is fantastic. They're just a really great company to work for. Everyone loves their job. It's really supportive. Kind, and some good tenure. Everyone's been here for decades. It's really just good, supportive. Everyone, everyone's his job. It's very, cross-trained, and it's, very engaged and involved, and, just good culture and kind people, etc., etc., etc. And so I love that about it. And I think the biggest thing that I've had to because of that, I've had to learn is that I have to just a whole bunch to pick up and to master and stuff in a very short time. It's just a really lot to learn. I told them the first 6 months is going to be just sponge mode, and then I'll start working on things 6 months to 12 months and start having some really big impacts. I already kind of am, but to have more impacts. And then years 1 to 2 are going to be the real big impact years when they'll start to really get a lot more out of me. But this first little bit here is just figuring shit out. And I won't get into specifics of the business and stuff, but I am in the operations side, but they weren't sure initially if I was going to be in operations or IT. And by IT, not tech support, but not tech support. But IT basically is all the systems, everything. Retail, web store, manufacturing, fulfillment, all the credit card processing, gift cards, loyalty, third-party suppliers, mills, all the SAP technologies. That's all under the IT governance. And so what I've ended up doing is I'm basically straddling ops and IT, basically in charge of kind of operational efficiency, process control, and governance on both sides of that, not just one side. And so it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. I report to a head of ops and the COO, and the VP of IT is kind of like a dotted line. And so I just have a lot on my shoulders. The first few months I had 5 projects. They were pretty small. They were project management stuff, but they gave me a chance to work with certain people and familiarize myself with the business more. And now I'm getting into a lot of cross-functional work, really deeply entrenched projects that are not projects, processes that have been going on for decades, and getting all that stuff clarified into flowcharts and dependency stuff and RACEs and stuff, or DACEs, however you want to use the language. Looking for risks, looking for automation opportunities, technology solutions. Just a whole bunch of just fact-finding and documenting, and then going back to people to make sure I got it right, and then proposing some changes. Does this feel right? Can we commit to a roadmap with this stuff? It's just a whole bunch of stuff, and I love it. It's fun. I enjoy it a lot. So they're already swimming. It's freaking cold to be swimming. So that's the King Arthur update. It's going really well. I'm super happy to be there, and I think in the next 6 months I'll get some direct reports under me, some business analysts that will help me execute some of these things that I'm working on designing. In the next 1 or 2 years I'll probably absorb a team from someone that's tiring, and then I'm hoping 3 to 5 years out, getting a promotion to a senior title, and then just owning that for a decade or more, and being a a big part of this company's future and being a part of that success story. But that's my goal and my ambitions as far as King Arthur goes. You know, not C-suite, not VP. I'm not trying to get that high the ladder. Just senior director title will be happy with me, and basically, you know, go to do that for 10 to 15 years if they'll have me. So moving on, I think the one thing that is, you know, I mentioned in the previous video, you know, Heather is still not sure what her future is as a federal employee. We moved back here for us, but also we moved back here at a time when we knew that we were going to be able to be compliant with her return to office mandate, which happened a couple months ago. So she is back in the office full time. So now we have daycare expenses. You know, she's compliant with the new way of the federal government's way of working, but her job code is still very much possible, very much that she'll get impacted by some June to August layoffs at the government. She doesn't know yet. She won't know till June. And it'll be like, hey, by the way, you're on administrative leave for 3 months, bye. And, you know, it is what it is. She's been there for a decade. She's going to really be bummed. But she has other opportunities that she can explore that are, you know, would mean that not really a big impact to our household income. And we're just gonna see how it goes. We just don't know. We don't know. There's no way to tell. She directly provides care and works with veterans, and she's gonna miss doing that. She loves that part of her job, and she's gonna be really sad if she is no longer able to do that. But it is what it is. Yeah, she's union. Yeah, there might be a situation where they petition, you know, her firing is illegal, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's all kind of congressional red tape around her office's purpose and its budget, whatever. But that's not really her. She's not really thinking about that. You know, if someone wants to fight for her job, that's on them. But she's still going to probably be laid off in the process. Have to find something else, and you know, offer reinstatement a year or two from now when things get to the courts. But again, it's you know, we need to pay bills now, so she's not going to wait around for that kind of discussion to take place. So we both have some moonlighting stuff we're working on. I've started another job on the side. I've always had 2 jobs, always. I've never had less than 2 jobs since I was 16. I've always had 2. I had 3 at one point from 2016 to 2022. I went down to 1 for Credit Karma, and just wanted to focus on that for a couple of years and focus on professional certifications, which I did. I'm proud to announce that nearly 2 years, June will be 2 years, since I've started my professional certification journey. And I told that in a separate video. That's been covered in a separate video. But I have now hit 14 certifications that are relevant to my primary income, which is an operations programs person. And so what that means is I'm over certified. It's almost starting to get a little bit like, you know, too many certifications. So I have started to explore what that would look like. Like, what can I do that's relevant to my certifications as side hustle? Am I consulting? Am I coaching? Am I teaching? Am I a resource for people that want to get certifications or want to learn what I do? Or, you know, coaching relevant to like C-suite coaching or operational consulting or programming consulting? I don't know. I started thinking about this about 6 months ago, and I really enjoyed the 3 boot camps I took at this company called Project Management Academy. I reached out to them. I said, hey, what services do you need filled by people with my experience? And they said, well, what we usually do is we would have you come on and teach our boot camps. And then if you do that well enough, we would have you do one-on-one or group consulting for corporate clients that we have that pays a lot more. And you know, it would require some, you know, days off work or nights and weekends and maybe some Zoom calls midday, but you know, we bring you on as a contractor and basically send you work that's relevant to your background, and you know, we market you, we give you materials, but it'd be your courses to teach. So that sounds pretty cool. So I've been talking to them for a few months now, and I've been talking to their instructors. I've talked to their you know, their various heads of divisions. Had a bunch of mock teaching interviews where I would lead a class, and they officially brought me on last week. So what that means is I'm taking 8 days off work in two different blocks, 4 days here and 4 days there. I'll be observing some courses in DC and in Boston that they teach, and I'll be paid for that. And then I will run a course that they have the most spots to fill. And if I do well, then I'll start teaching those virtually on the weekends, 2 weekends a month. And then if I do that well enough, then they'll have me certified for a couple other courses that I can teach that makes me more desirable, and then start sending me referrals to teach corporate stuff. And I can take it or leave it. Basically, they send it to me. They say, hey, you have 1 day to accept this course assignment. If you want it, you can have it. First right of refusal for this. And then if I refuse, they go to the next instructor on the line. And so basically, you book 6 months out for all your courses. It pays really well. So it'll be something like I'm making post-tax to my LLC like $5 to $8K a month doing consulting for them as a contractor. And they pay for any travel expenses I would have to bear. Pretty good. It's pretty decent side hustle. And it does mean that if, you know, the world changes and King Arthur doesn't need my services anymore, I can teach every week and make less than I'm making now, but it's a good side hustle to have in my back pocket. I was working 6, I guess. And I'm working on other stuff, so I've also entered my name in the hat as a candidate for a couple of for-profit board positions as an elected board member. If I get those, it does mean for sure I'll be stepping down from the MOA as a board member. It's an unpaid board seat. It requires about 10, 15 hours a month of my time. I've been on the board for 4 to 5 years now. I told the Vermont BMW Club I can't join their board. I'm helping them out with some website stuff, webmaster stuff for them for free as a volunteer, but I can't join the Vermont board as a board member, not for the foreseeable future. I've got a baby now. And I would probably step down from the MOA National Board as well if I got the Project Management Institute board position. But I think, you know, if you look at my life, I'm 38. If you look at my life, I think my goal is I want to hit 50 years old as King Arthur's, you know, head of operations, reporting to COO, or maybe VP of Ops if that's offered to me. And then do corporate consultation and corporate coaching on operations and efficiencies and process design and governance and you know, coaching for executives or resume you know, reviews for people that are in my role that want to get or going to get into my role as a suite of offerings that I provide to people. And then at 50 years old, I'd like to branch out and go independent and basically design a situation where I can take summers off or take 2 months off a year, like December, July, and August off every year, and do this fully independent as an independent consultant, doing stuff I do for King Arthur, but do it in, you know, 4 to 6 month contracts, or, you know, on demand by the hour work for companies or individuals looking for help with this kind of stuff. That's kind of my long-term plan, and then I can, you know, Batsita will be 12 to 13 years old, and I can spend summers and winters with her. And she follow her class schedule basically until she goes off to college, and then I can figure out if I want to devote more time to a full-time gig or do more board work and kind of become semi-retired by then. That's kind of what I'm thinking is my life. My life will be ahead of me as far as, you know, what I think is my future between now and age 65. Who's to say? You know, I can get cancer, I get hit by a bus. You know, things can really change, but I think if I'm looking long-term, 10 years, that's kind of where I'm thinking now my head is. I really enjoy this kind of work. I'd love the independence to be able to make what I make now, adjusted for inflation, of course, but have more freedom in the way I spend my time, my weekends and my summertime. Do one big trip per year, raise my kids, spend time with her in a Sprinter van doing road trips, riding dirt bikes with her if she wants to do that. But basically, you know, give that time back to us as an independent person. I love this road, by the way. This connects over to Thetford, Vermont, where I'm looking at a house, and man, wouldn't it be so cool to be on a dirt road for my commute every day to and from the house? Love it. Pass a mail truck up here. Easily pass a mail truck. He didn't want me to pass him though. He was very unhappy with me. I love Vermont dirt roads, by the way, because they're so sweeping and flowing. I always thought you could go faster on the dirt roads than you can on the paved roads, because there's just so much to them from like the way they're maintained and packed down. So that's currently the one I'm working on in a nutshell. What that means though for this channel, you know, I told you guys earlier, I'm not going to be doing a remodel of my house this year, which means less content, but also more time back. I should be able to, you know, by July, we moved into a new home that fits our needs and just do some minor improvements that don't require, you know, working daily with contractors and a lot of consultation with them and all that kind of, you know, demands on my time and less videos for you guys. But you know, full-time at King Arthur, full-time on, you know, program management and coaching consulting as an instructor, as well as spending more time with Matilda this summer as the weather improves, and camping with her and the dog, or hiking with her and the dog. I don't know, it's going to be a very locally driven summer of activities. It will not be a big trip summer. I have no trips planned on the motorcycle this year that's not local. 2 nights of camping in the woods with the Vermont Club. It's just I just don't have time. I'll be doing a lot of weekend classes. So even some of the classes that I had planned on, some of the events that I planned on attending this year with the Vermont Club or the Yankee Beamers will probably end up being canceled on my calendar because I'll be teaching some weekend courses for extra money. That extra money is going to go towards a project, which will probably be, if I have to, a garage build at one of the houses we buy. And so, you know, oh, turn left here. Thank you, ABS. I know my ABS, my rear tire is actually disabled. My rear tire will lock up if I'm not careful. But I'm at the new house that we're going to look at to tour today. Here 2 minutes early, perfect. And this does, by the way, this does connect to a Class 4 road at Thetford Academy, so I'm curious what that looks like. I might hop on that later and see if that looks from a road quality. This time of year it's probably all mud. This is the place on the right. It's nice. I like it. It's really pretty, actually. What do you guys think? Plenty of land. It's private. And what I would end up doing with this place is I would end up... Oh, it's very soft. I would end up building a garage over on the left over here. Maybe over there, or maybe here would be a garage build. This could suit our needs. It's a lot more neighbors than I wanted. I don't want that many neighbors, but this probably gets pretty soggy and muddy in the spring and winter. But yeah, this looks pretty good from a layout. I like it a lot. All right, let's get in here and get set up. But yeah, it definitely needs a garage. It would be impossible to have this place for me without a garage. And so we're thinking about committing quite a bit, 60 or 70K, to an Atom workshop where I can have, you know, all my stuff laid out and have a lift for cars and their stuff. I'm not really concerned about the house. If the roof doesn't leak, I don't need anything else. But I do need a garage, which would mean probably putting one right here on the high ground. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Work update.